you ever been trying to sleep, but every time you close your eyes, something wakes you up?
Yo, dude, can you help me watch my TV?
This happens a lot.
Luckily, there's this thing called capsule hotels, where you get a great night's rest in your own personal sleeping pod. Now, unlucky for me, it's either across the US or across the world.
And since I obviously don't want to travel that far, I'm gonna build a secret sleeping pod right here in my house.
And to put this thing to the test, in 3 days, my roommates will be throwing a party where I'll either catch up on some much needed sleep,
Or I'll be up all night and this thing will be a complete waste. But let's be optimistic.
First, I needed to find a place where I can build this and keep it a secret. So after around 30 minutes of trying to find the best spot,
We have this room in our house where we kind of just store like a bunch of random things.
and this right here,
I think will work perfect.
So my goal is to turn this bed right here into my own personal sleeping pod. Theoretically.
All right, start clearing out this room.
Why does everything we build have to be so hard? Like turning your bed into a swimming pool, a freaking sleeping pod, a credit score.
Your credit score?
Yeah, let's just get to working. I don't want to talk about that.
No, I want to know about your credit score.
No.
and after around 30 minutes of clearing out the room,
You cleared the room, but not my credit score.
You really wanted that joke in the video, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
it was time to figure out how to build this thing. So I spent around an hour coming up with different blueprints, and I have an idea on how I'm gonna pull this off.
So my goal is to build something like this.
So I'm gonna build this whole sleeping pod frame and then push it over an already existing bed.
Now that we have all of our designs, it's time to go to Home Depot and pick up supplies.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So after getting all the supplies, I started to realize that
This might be the most stuff we've ever bought from Home Depot. I think we'll still have to come back.
Knowing us, yes, absolutely.
everything was going great until we started driving back to the house and ran into a huge
So
problem.
we just took a cliff to see like a cool angle, and we realized the front of it was like about to like break off.
Now we have to hold our hands up here to make sure it doesn't break off when we're driving on the road.
We're like a mile or so from the house.
So after a very embarrassing car ride home, we unloaded all the supplies and it was time to start building this sleeping pod.
Ow! Just landed on my freaking finger.
First, we started building the bottom part of the frame.
Now that we've made our frame, we're gonna see if it fits around the bed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, so that works. I also didn't expect to work that easily.
We're getting better at what we do.
Yeah.
So now that the base fits around the bed, it's time to build the rest of this thing.
What the fuck was that? Was that a rat? That sounded...
Oh, there's something back there.
The rats were like, they're building us a giant sleeping pod.
So although we weren't alone in this room, we had to keep building if we were gonna make it on time. And after about 10 more minutes,
All right, we got our top and our bottom. Things are going a little too well.
Yeah, something needs to go wrong for me to feel normal.
but to our surprise, things continued going perfectly.
Call me Bob the freaking builder. Why isn't it working?
And after 30 more minutes of building the frame,
Bro, this ain't bad.
Bro, there's our problem. I found it. These are sticking out way too far.
Oh,
We
damn.
need to adjust this up.
I knew you'd find a problem.
Maybe I did it on purpose so that I created the problem.
We weren't smart enough to create this. We were dumb enough to create it.
so we spent the next 20 minutes taking apart the frame and re-drilling the wood into the right spots.
All right, we just went in and fixed everything. Now we're gonna start drilling the rest of this thing together. All right, so the actual wood frame is about 90% done. We're just gonna put one more beam here so that when we actually make the doorway, we step on it, it doesn't break. This is so sick.
So we continued cutting and drilling the final parts of the frame, and after a couple hours,
Frame's done.
What's next?
We're gonna paint this whole thing.
Of course we are.
What is this? This is harder than building the frame. All right, let's paint the frame.
Where's my paintbrush?
Yep. There you go.
Is this your toothbrush?
It was.
I'm not using it.
That was just hateful.
so although it was literally midnight, we had to finish painting if we were gonna have any chance to finish this secret pod before the house party. So as we sit here and paint all night, it'd mean a lot if you guys would hit that subscribe button.
We just spent the last 2 hours painting. We're gonna let this dry overnight. Try to finish this thing tomorrow. Holy cow, I'm sweating. All right, so it is the next morning. I just checked all of the paint and it is dry, but I did wake up to a text from my roommate saying that instead of the party being tomorrow night, it got moved to tonight. So that's gonna give me just around 10 hours to try to finish building this thing. All right, now it's time to put the walls up. Now, a lot of the times we're in a rush and don't have a lot of time to eat, as you can clearly see, which is why factory meals are perfect.
Factory meals are delivered fresh, never frozen, and are made by gourmet chefs with the highest quality ingredients. Factory meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat it up and enjoy.
This is so cool.
You know, man, I'll give you the honors of cutting this next piece.
The honors? I've cut every piece.
Oh yeah, it's true.
I've been literally getting these meals every week for months now, and I genuinely recommend it.
All right, here we go.
All right, everything is pretty much done. Now it's time for the most important part of this that we cannot mess up, and that is the actual door.
So if you want to try Factor meals,
Go to factor.com or click the link in my description and make sure to use my code DrewDirksen50 to get 50% off your first Factor box.
That is so cool.
This thing looks so legit. All right, now that the shell is built, let's paint it.
so we started painting the sleeping pod, and just as I thought we might have a chance of finishing this on time,
We just ran out of paint.
so I jumped in the car and drove back to Home Depot and picked up another can of paint. I drove back as fast as I could, but Nick was nowhere to be found. But this sleeping pod wasn't gonna paint itself, so I spent the next several hours painting to get it all done.
All right, the paint is officially done. This actually took me so much longer than I thought, so I don't have much time left to pull this off before the party tonight.
Now, while the paint was drying, I went and ordered everything I would need to actually turn this sleeping pod into the super cool futuristic ones that I've seen online. So we obviously need lights, we're gonna need a mirror, pictures, Spider-Man ones will do, and the most important thing we need is noise canceling foam, because I am trying to get a good night's sleep after all. So while I was waiting for the supplies to arrive and for the paint to finish drying, I thought I'd try to take a quick nap. And guess who just so conveniently reappeared?
Nick! What are you doing?
Just vacuuming the ceiling.
Why?
We're having a party later.
Although I didn't manage to get a wink of sleep, at least all the packages arrived, so it was time to move on to the next step.
So all the paint is officially dry. Time to move this thing over. Time to transform this thing into a sleeping pod. If you've ever seen one of these crazy looking sleeping pods, each one has like this really cool mirror inside of it. So I bought this $12 mirror at Home Depot, and it should go just like that, and you'll be able to see yourself.
So we spent the next 10 minutes successfully installing the mirror.
Let's go. Now we're gonna add LED lights all throughout this thing, so when you turn it on, it should look like one of those super epic sleeping pods. We just filled the entire thing with lights. Now we're gonna see if it works. Whoa.
That is so sick. It just falls apart right now.
Now to give me the best possible chance at actually sleeping through the night, where my head is gonna be, I'm gonna fill it with soundproof foam. Look how satisfying this is. You literally just expand. That is so cool. It's a good day coming. It's a good day coming. Time to move this thing over. Sweet like honey. It's a good day coming. This is gonna be sick. You realize now, I made the noise canceling foam just a little bit too short.
So I added a few more pieces of soundproof foam to hopefully be able to sleep peacefully. And with the clock ticking down, I added the final touches of decorating to the sleeping pod. And with just barely any time to spare, it was finally done.
I think this is it. Let me see how everything looks with all the lights on. The lights off in here. Bro, this is gonna look insane. Here we go.
Yo.
This is actually insane. I mean, come on, look at this. Bro!
What do you think?
That looks like
We got the mirror. Can't forget the Spider-Man pictures. Good vibes. Of course, the soundproof wall to hopefully give me a good night's sleep. This is insane. All right, people are about to arrive any minute. For me, I'm gonna be in there trying to catch up on some much needed sleep. Yo, Nick.
Yeah, what's up?
Why are you dressed up?
I'm going to the party.
Oh, that makes sense.
See ya.
Is there anything in that?
Oh no, but the drinks I ordered on your credit card will be here in a minute. See you, buddy.
Dude!
As people started to arrive for the party, I started making my way to my new secret sleeping pod. I honestly couldn't believe how cool this thing turned out. It looked like a spaceship from the future. Now, the only thing left to do is to lay my head down and catch up on some much needed sleep. Comment down below what I should do with this sleeping pod next.